who win the regatta will get to go and compete in the e-sailing national championships.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, I think guys will be free, and yeah, we want to see all the academy sailors. This virtual racing is quite easy, and Craig will be running that on Saturday. So what you need to do is all the ROIC members receive an email today. They have to go into that link and put an expression of interest for you to participate. I know here we have sailors from other clubs, so that's really, really good. And I'm sure all the clubs are doing this as well. So it will be fantastic. Right, so thank you, Craig. We'll see you on Saturday, but yeah, stay in touch and we're gonna start doing some workout over here. Yeah, e-sailing, I got a question. E-sailing is a virtual regatta, and you can go into YouTube and start practicing, looking how you do those. It's pretty easy, and actually I was playing today and you learn a lot about wind and how the wind moves, so it's quite very good for learning. Right, so I think everybody remember Trey from last Thursday, and thank you for being here. We decided to do a part 2 because we received a lot of emails and questions, and actually the sailors were really engaged doing their fitness. So put your hand up if you have been doing your workout and your fitness. Nice, I see many videos there. Good, does anybody want to open microphone and share us very, very quick what you have been doing? Okay.
Where are you?
Okay, I have someone here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Art. You put your hand up.
Yes.
Yeah. What you want to? How was your fitness going?
Yeah. Well, I do 30 minutes of rowing each day. I also do a set of a set of weightlifting, and then I also do some how you balance you sit your back on the ground and then you balance your legs out. It's a good core workout.
Yep.
Excellent. And after you did that, do you have any specific question you want us to cover today about your specific workout?
Sorry, I don't really understand. Sorry.
That's okay. It's good that it's very good, guys, that you're all doing your workout. And remember to try to do your workout according to the boat that you are racing. So we can give you some tips today, and we can ask a couple of questions today.
Yeah, I think if you have got access to a rowing machine, it's great, because obviously leg strength and fitness is obviously a big part of dinghy sailing as far as hiking goes. So whether it be the cycling, squats, that sort of thing, and obviously rowing is a lot of leg work. So it definitely helps in that department. And I was actually doing it this morning myself, and it never gets easier. The rowing machine. It's one of those items that it's a great workout, and it's always pretty annoying because it's always it just never seems to get easier. But I think if you keep an eye on, if you do have the option of using a rowing machine, and obviously when the club gets up and running again, there's the use of one there. But it's one of those things that if you can keep a track of your times and your speed and that sort of thing, it's a really good gauge on how you can progress and how you can keep getting better and better all the time, a little bit like on the bike and that sort of thing. So you might feel like it's always hard, but I think if you just keep chipping away at it, you can make some pretty big gains on that type of equipment, because it is very easy to record what you're doing. So keep it up.
Excellent. And I mentioned about that, talking with the club, we got many questions from the sales asking when the gym is going to be open. The club is just finalizing and trying to search a couple of more sponsors, but they're thinking on having a little, a gym set up for summer. But the main thing, guys, is that without machines or equipment, you can right now do a lot of things. But yeah, we are in Akarana working on that, setting up the gym.
Yeah, I think just one thing on the gym, we none of us know exactly when. Obviously it's my. I've taken the job on to actually set up the gym and get it all operating. But as we know, with everything being sort of shut down and when it's all going to get up and running again, none of us know exactly when that might be. But I think when we do, we'll keep it. I guess pretty simple, pretty basic. But at least it'll be an area that is going to be very, really easy to use for you guys to have the equipment, but also just have the space for with the rubber flooring and that sort of thing to do some quite good little circuits, whether it be even stretching or just your exercise circuits that we've been talking about and the ones you're doing. That doesn't have to be very long, but can be even half an hour, 30 to 40 minutes max, and do a little fun circuit in there, and then you're all done. And that might be and who knows when that's going to be that we can get that sort of up and usable again. But I'm sure Maria will keep you informed as to when that can be, and we'll make sure we've got it all set up, ready to go.
Yeah. In the meantime, keep doing your awesome fitness. As we explained you last week, with some apps or a little paper. Keep it fun. It can be rowing or bicycle or running. I saw Hugo and Gay running drills, so really good. Other people send us workout videos, from doing things from the floor, so that's good. All right, so just to do a little introduction, we have a couple of new sailors here. A little introduction about Trey. Do you want to mention something about you, Trey, or something quick, or I play some videos?
Oh no, you carry on, and I'll think of something in a minute.
Awesome. This guy's gonna be a quick video. I think this video has an awesome message about, you're sailing your dinghy now. There's so many things you can do in the future, and this video is talking about having youth sailors in the Volvo, in the next Volvo Ocean Race, and probably in the others as well. And it also talk about female sailors, and it's talking about a Kiwi boat. So let's keep it interesting, and let's see if we can share this one. Righty, I'm gonna play a couple of minutes about this.
It is exciting, and being a New Zealand entry in the race this time, it's something that I've thought about it a lot over the years, and people have asked me a lot about over the years, why isn't there a New Zealand boat in this race? And it's all very well to say it, but to make it happen is not, as we know, it's not that easy. Bianca Cook did the last race on Turn the Tide. She's very passionate about doing the race again. Ian Cook, her father, who's the Commodore of the Yacht Squadron at home, obviously thought the same and really wanted to do it. He got the wheels rolling, really. To be part of running the campaign, I'm excited to take that on. This time with 3 under 26, 3 under 30 and 3 females, I think it gives a lot of the younger generation sailors that want to do ocean racing and get into that side of it a bigger opportunity. And that's pretty much what Bianca, the opportunity she had sailing on Turn the Tide.
Right, I don't know if that video was a little bit slow. Can you see that okay, guys, or what's okay? What's more or less?
Yeah, it was a little bit stop and start. I'm not sure how you play it to make it
Okay.
keep flowing, or if it's a different format or not. I'm not sure how you do that, because I think Sue Ellen did it differently last week, didn't she?
Yes, I don't like the video, but we can try. We can see the other one, how the workout video will
Okay.
go. What we can try to do is, if you guys, if it doesn't work, we can put the cameras down off and try that. Yeah, but I think that if you can still hear what that video was telling. It was talking. I think these stations are quite good to inspire sailors. I think there's a lot of opportunities in the future about having young sailors in these regattas. We have many female sailors in this course that they do a lot of laser 29er sailing. So,
yeah. So I mean, I can explain a little bit about what we're doing there and what is going on if you don't already know. But at the moment, I'm trying to put together a New Zealand team for the next ocean race, which was called the Volvo Around the World race. Now it's the Ocean Race. Still sponsored by Volvo, but it's just called the Ocean Race now. And we Bianca Cook is going to be a skipper, and as you saw there on the thing, it's a younger generation, so it's you do have to have obviously 3 females. You've got to have 3 people under 26, 3 under 30, and 3 people that have done it before. So the whole idea of it is to try and get a new wave of or a younger wave of sailors coming through to do some ocean racing and have that opportunity to do the ocean racing that I had. So the plan is for me. I'm not planning on doing the race myself, but just managing the team and trying to make it all happen. It hasn't been easy. We have a boat here. It's sitting at the yard out at Yachting Developments. Obviously, we've sort of got close to launching. We're still working on sponsorship. Got close to launching until we all of a sudden went into lockdown. So we decided to basically put it all on hold and keep it sort of wrapped up in the shed so that it wasn't getting just sitting in the water doing nothing. And at the moment, just working on potential sponsors and funding, which is going to take a little bit longer than we had hoped because of what's gone on. So we'll wait and see. But I really hope that in the future, obviously, there's a lot of you that you people in the youth sailing, that sort of thing, that it won't be the race for you this time. But I'm sure that with enough time and we create those opportunities and we have a boat in New Zealand that we can take the likes of yourselves out sailing, and you just get a taste for it. I think that's what creates that urge to either want to do it or not want to do it, and just to have that opportunity to know that there's a New Zealand team, that there's a pathway for sailors like yourselves to look forward to having a go at and being part of an ocean race team. So I really hope that we can make this happen and put it together, and hope that the global world sort of come back together as soon as possible. And if it doesn't, if for some reason it gets dragged out a little bit longer, well, we can work around. We just have to work around that. And for you guys, that I guess that in some ways plays in your hands a little bit. You're the lucky ones because you're younger, so you've still got huge amount of opportunities to do this sort of sailing. Whereas it's if you're older, then those opportunities are sort of running out. So I think there's some fantastic sailing coming up and some fantastic opportunities with this sort of boat to have in the country, and you'll certainly hear more about it, and we'll definitely keep you informed with what's happening and so that what we're doing and hopefully try and experience a little bit of what we're doing as well at some stage.
Yeah, excellent. I think that's a great message to give to the sailors, especially in this fitness session, and especially having sailing and coaching really soon. So there's a lot of opportunities to go, and start thinking about your regattas, your fitness. We might go to the water quite soon. So in your boat, if it's an improvement you have to do to the boat. You can write some questions. We can keep the chat now for questions, so I can follow those questions, guys. So you can keep that, and I can answer that. Right, we're gonna go to the workout video. We're gonna see how that goes. If it's a little bit slow, we can explain some workouts and answer some questions. Okay, so let's see how this one works.
Hi again. This is a 5 exercise sequence, all on the mat, all for 4. And I'll just run through in sequence. It's 15 to 20 reps, but I'll do 10 just to speed it up for this video session, so we can get to the other stuff. The first one obviously is not reps, it's just a hold. So it's basically on your back. Remember always to keep that lower back firmly on the ground. Hands across your chest. And just crunch up and hold 25 seconds. In that position, just crunch right up and hold. Feet on the ground, 25 seconds. Okay, the next one is straight into the same position. Down, feet off the ground, crunch up first. Single leg out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15 to 20 of those. And straight into.
All right. I don't know if that was okay.
It's quite slow. It's quite stop start, Maria.
Let's see.
I'm not sure how else what's the best way to play it that keep because the voice doesn't go with the video. It's not on time, with the video, it's lagging.
Maria.
Yeah.
Last time Sue Ellen downloaded it. She downloaded it to her laptop somehow.
Straight out.
And she casted it, shared it with her.
Right.
Somehow.
Yeah, I don't. I had downloaded the video. Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
I guess the other thing we could do, here, Maria, is if it's too hard to actually play now, we can. You're going to send it to everyone.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could just send it out, and we can talk. I could just talk through it now. If you like.
We can do that. Yeah. Also, we can talk about that and have the sailors doing a little bit of demonstration as well.
3 times through.
Okay. I think it's actually still playing. I can hear it. I can hear myself still talking.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Oh, maybe not now.
Yeah. So we can do it. Yeah. We can send them the video. Guys, you will receive a little bit of theory material and those exercises. So I think that will be good that you can practice those ones.
So I guess the best way for me is just to explain to you all what it actually is. And it's basically 5 exercises, all floor, all sitting down, all 5 core exercises, but it's like one sequence. So you just basically start off, and it'll show you, obviously when you see the video it makes sense, but you start off as a crunch, then that's like for 25 seconds. But don't worry too much at the moment about whether it's 15 seconds or 25 seconds or 30 or whatever. But just try and do the crunch and hold for as long as you can. Then it goes into basically holding that crunch and extending alternate legs out. Same thing, like 20 reps, but just see how you go each side. Then it goes into basically hold the crunch, go into the same crunch and using both feet together and extending both legs out for 15 to 20 reps. And then the next version of that is to go into your legs and arms out straight into like a dish. If you think of a dish shape, then your legs are just off the ground, your arms are straight out behind your legs, like you're going to dive into a swimming pool, into a dish shape, and hold, and then you basically go in and out like that, 15 to 20. Then you go into the same position with like a dish shape, and you rock backwards and forwards just slowly. And it's just a very small rock, but because you're rocking, it loads up your core a lot more. And try and do 15 to 15 reps like that. Just see how that goes. But one thing is just keep thinking about your lower back, and if it hurts your lower back when you start to rock backwards and forwards, just do a few and then stop and rest, and then try and do a few more. So don't try and overdo it to start with, and roll through that sequence 3 times. It's kind of a gymnast type core exercises, but it's if you really think about your lower core, your lower abs while you're doing it, and really crunch up and lock in, it's a good one, because it in some ways, like when you're hiking, you have to sort of lock in, and you in some ways you're sort of stationary a lot of the times while you're hiking, and you're only just bouncing a little bit, and so this is a similar sort of core exercise that you can just keep working on. And I know that the guy that showed me this is incredible, what he can do, and how strict he is on the technique of how to do this. So just have a little go at it, and then when we do, like we said, when we do get this gym set up again, in 2024, sorry, that was just joking about 2024, but I hope it's very soon, in a couple of weeks, when we do get that, we can go through a little session like this all together down at the gym, and a lot of it will sort of, I guess, try, maybe make a bit more sense to you all, but it's a good one to try, and it's a little, variation and quite quick to do. So have a go at it, watch it, and just see how it goes and see how it feels. But it is something it's easy to do by you can stay in one place, you can lie on the floor, you can do it in front of TV. You don't have to, it's not a half-hour workout. It's just a very short sequence. So have a go, and then let me know how you get on.
Yeah, that's great. We're trying not to see if we can fix that. It might be my internet, but we'll see. I think it's a great explanation, guys. We are doing this little catch-up to see how you're going. If I know many of you have been working on your workouts, so if you have any questions, specific things, we receive emails asking about to explain you a little more core muscles. So the workouts of today are more for that. Other things that sailors ask us to go through, it's about some injury prevention. And for you guys that you're getting close to go to the water, I think it's good for you to consider this. So we're just going to go a little bit into how to prevent some things that you might experiment when you sail, and then we're gonna play the workout. I think that can be really, really good.
Yeah, sorry, just Maria, just before, while I remember, with that sequence, what I'll do too, and I probably should have sent it as well, but I know you've got the video there anyway. But what I might send you is a little diagram of each exercise with written what each one is beside it. And I'll just send that to you, and then you can just fire that out to everyone as well, so that they've got it on a bit of paper.
Yeah, that would be great. So I think we have if Suelen is here, she can play it right now. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, guys, we play these ones. We can practice 2 of them, and then we can go into the other topic. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Right.
Ready?
Excellent.
Okay, hi again. This is a 5 exercise sequence, all on the mat, all for core, and I'll just run through them in sequence. It's 15 to 20 reps, but I'll do 10 just to speed it up for this video session, so we can get through other stuff. The first one obviously is not reps, it's just a hold. So it's basically on your back. Remember always to keep that lower back firmly on the ground. Hands across your chest. And just crunch up and hold 25 seconds. In that position, just crunch right up and hold. Feet on the ground. That's 25 seconds. Okay, the next one is straight into the same position. Down, feet off the ground, crunch up first, single leg out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 15 to 20 of those. Then straight into 2-legged. Same again, crunch up, feet up, out, and crunch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go from there. Is both arms, both legs out. So it's crunch up, arms straight out, legs straight out, and hold. 30 seconds. The next one from there is the same position, but it's a rock. And it's a very sort of gentle rock, not too much. So start off, legs out, arms up behind your ears, and just rock. But don't get into this. So it's really just a very small rock. $15 of those. And then three times through, and that's it.
Awesome, that's great. Right, do you have sailors? If you want to put your cameras on, we can answer some questions, and maybe we can go through the first drill. No, the first workout. Are you there? Awesome. Right, so if you remember the first workout, guys, we can practice that one. I think I did this last night, and it was really good. You will receive these videos, so you can do it at home. But you can you're gonna see that the first 2 are kind of warm up, and you're gonna work. If you do it properly, you're gonna work a lot the core muscle that you use for hiking. It's really good.
I mean, you can, for variations, you can just do one of them, separately. If you want to just lie in front of the TV, if you're watching something exciting like the news, you could lie down and just crunch up and see how long you can hold that that crunch position, just while you're watching TV. So it's just little ones you can do like that are you can do them all separately. But I would say that the most important thing about any of these ones is thinking about your lower back and really forcing that your lower back onto the ground, so you don't end up with an arched back trying to rock backwards and forwards, or when you're crunching up to try and really push that lower back onto the ground, because we're trying to prevent injuries.
Yes, and we're gonna go to injuries after this. But if you want, guys, you can put your camera on. You can see if you can do it. You can do it yourself. I think now we're fine. And let's see if we can practice the first one. So who's over there? I'm looking Mac. I'm looking Hugo and Guy. I'm looking Bradley. Let's see. Who else is over there?
Maybe just go into your crunch position and see how long you can hold that for while Maria's talking. We're talking about it.
I think some of the cameras are locked, but we're gonna go to that.
Oh, well, that's okay. We can just carry on. So just you can have your feet on the ground. Have your feet on the ground, Bradley. And then just crunch your back, crunch yourself right up as far as you can, your shoulders off the ground as far as you can, and hold there as high as you can. That's it, and just hold.
Excellent.
When we see your head disappear, we'll know that you've given up.
So you can start your video if you want. That's good, Sophia. I think you can start feeling your core muscles working now. Probably if you can keep that for 20-30 seconds.
Yeah.
So Trey, I was doing this drill yesterday, and I don't know if some sailors might experience something similar. If you do, I started doing it without being so conscious about my core muscles, and I started feeling some pain in my neck. So the second time I did it, I actually tried to pull me up with my core muscles. So I think that can happen.
Try and tuck your chin into your chest when you crunch up. So you've got your arms across your chest, and crunch up with your chin. Put your chin into your chest so you're not sort of got your head back, and crunch up and then just hold there, and you should feel your core start to sort of burn a little bit after you've been in that position for a little while, just like you do if you're hiking and you were just sort of hiking in one position for a long time. You tried to sail for as long as you could on one tack, and then obviously if you start moving like these small movements, if you go through the sequence, the more you do them, the more your core muscles start burning. And that's what you got to get used to when you're and this is something that will help you get used to doing that when you're on the boat.
Yeah, I think that's something we tell to the sailors. Sometimes you have to be comfortable of not being comfortable. So for the sailors, hiking sometimes can be a little painful, even if you have you develop a lot of your fitness. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna get with that small pain. No?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, with these little sequences, is I guess for me, don't sort of think of them all the time as a workout. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I've got to do my workout now, and this is the workout. This could be something that you can just, you go, oh, I've got 5 minutes, I've got 5 or 10 minutes spare at the moment, or like I said, you're lying on the floor watching TV instead of sitting on the couch before this next program starts or whatever. You just lie on the floor and you just go into that, and you just go into this little sequence or a couple of them, or even holding that position for a little while, and you just start to get used to your core muscles just start to, I guess you get used to them actually turning on. So it's just a way of activating your lower ab muscles and getting them used to just crunching up and just holding, same as you do with other exercises, is just being able to do that and do them, easily, but it's not like something you have to sort of get to the end of it and you can't breathe. It's more a concentrated type core exercise.
Excellent. So probably we just can do the second one, and you can all activate your cameras if you want, and we practice one more just to see if you have any questions, and you will receive these ones, this video, so you can keep practicing at home. So if you remember the second one, yeah.
So basically just crunch up, and then, the dogs.
Let's say you would crunch up as you did before, guys.
Yep. And then just every alternate legs, just slowly out, back in, next leg out, back in, and just.
Excellent.
So it's not like it's not like cycling. It's more just really concentrated, leg out, back in, next, left, back in, right, back in, left, back in, and really think about your lower back the whole time. Because the one thing when we're talking about injuries is the one thing that you need to look after from now on at your age, right through to, for the rest of your life, is really, really looking after your back. It's one of the things I wish someone had told me when I was your age, how important it was to work on your core strength to help your back. Everyone thinks it's all about just having core muscles, but it's actually being able to look after your back and activate every time you bend over and pick up something off the ground, or bend over the sink to clean your teeth. You need to be able to, your core muscles need to be able to switch on and activate straight away, so that you're actually not using your back anymore. You're using your core strength to do that. And if you can do that from an early age, like you are, when you are in further down the track in 5-10 years time, it just becomes a very natural thing to do, and you'll save yourself a huge amount of problems as far as back injuries go, because you'll already have that natural core strength, which is so important.
Excellent. So I think a couple of sailors activate their cameras right now. So yeah, we can practice the last one. Do you remember the last drill, guys? The last one? And I think when I practiced this morning, that one was the one that I really feel my muscles a lot.
Yeah.
So
just keep thinking, when you do this one with your arms and your legs out off the ground, try and think of yourself like lying on the ground if you were a banana. Try and turn yourself into looking like a banana on the ground. So your arms, and you're just like a perfect, like a nice, really nice curve, with your legs just off the ground, your arms just off the ground. More of a banana than a dead fly or dead ant.
Bouncing banana, yeah.
So your legs, your feet are just off the ground, and your hands are just off the ground, but you're in a dish shape. And then just try and rock, keeping them like that, and just try and rock backwards and forwards.
Excellent. I see Oliver there. Probably you can put your hands more up, like straight hands.
Stretch them out as straight as you possibly can behind your ears, and then just slowly rock backwards and forwards, but without.
Let's see, Guy. Yep. Are you there, Hugo and Guy? Excellent.
No, it's one of those ones. Sometimes when you're you're doing them, you think you're doing them, you think you're doing it really well, and then when someone watches you, you can get someone to watch you, and they'll go, oh no, your arms are swinging around or your legs are swinging around. So one of the ways to do it too is to actually video yourself doing it, and then as if you're sending it to us, video yourself doing it, and just then you can it's a really good way of looking at your technique, and you'll get an idea of how high your legs are feet are off the ground, or how high your arms, if they're swinging around or whatever. So it's such a concentrated type exercise.
Yeah, I think that what I was looking on that one was quite good, and try to do that kind of bouncing banana slowly.
Yeah.
Trying to have your legs straight.
Yeah.
And your arms quite straight. It's not doing kind of up and down abdomens.
No, it's not sit-ups. It's not sit-ups at all. It's just, you're really just moving as if you're, like, say if you're hiking, but you're just pumping a little bit. If you were hiking, it's a little bit like that. You're not bouncing around. You're just rocking just a little bit for the waves or the puffs or whatever. So if you think of it like you're just rocking a little bit in your boat, and it's really a very tiny movement.
Yeah, that was good. I think, guys, you will receive these videos at home, so that's good. And keep going. Before we go in a little bit of injuries or prevent, and that is just, in junior and youth classes, you don't have a lot of that, but it's good to mention a couple. Does anybody have any questions before we go to that? Or do you want to mention anything, any workouts you were doing before at home?
Yeah, any questions?
Should we just work hard on the core, or do we just work on cardio? Like just a bit of everything?
For sure, a bit of everything. There's no way you can sort of do one or the other unless you were just training for something, for a certain section or whatever, or a competition that you were trying to do one particular thing. The best thing, I think, is to do to try and really have a big variation of all the exercises, and same with stretching. All the different variations of exercise that you do, and your strength and cardio, is to really mix it up. It makes it more, in some ways you need to do that anyway, but also it gives you more it's kind of more fun as well, and you don't get bored with like, oh, I'm just doing core again, core exercises again. Legs are obviously very important because of the type of sailing you're doing. When you're in the boat, you always have to use. If you're in a dinghy, there's no way around sailing a dinghy without using your core muscles to move it from one side of the boat to the other, and there's no way you can do it without using your leg muscles. So being in that for leg muscles, in that crouch position and that sort of thing is really, really important as well, to be able to move smoothly. I guess having that leg strength to move smoothly, and so when you're on your legs and you can move smoothly and you can rotate and that sort of thing, using your core strength as well, it makes you a much smoother, fluid person in a boat, and that sort of goes right through any type of sailing. Really, having that leg and core strength is a very big deal.
Yeah, and that keep you a lot more free to think about the other things outside the boat, your strategy, your starts. You are not thinking that you are not comfortable with your body. You have to, even Olympic sailors feel pain, but they did it so much that they are comfortable with that. It's just another thing. So then you can keep your head out of the boat. Awesome. I see a couple of core muscles there. Excellent.
Exactly.
Do you have any other questions before we go to the next chapter? No? Yeah.
Would you recommend having, say, a day's worth of rest per week?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it depends. It's a very hard. It's a hard one to answer that with it, because a lot of the times it comes down to what you've been doing, and what that regime is. Because as we know, we're not all in the same. It's not like we're all in the same camp doing the same thing. Like as if you were I don't know, for instance, an America's Cup campaign where everyone is training together, sailing together every day of the week, and you can control, or whether it be a rugby team or whatever, and control each day is exactly the same for the whole team. So what you're doing could be completely different to what the rest of us are doing. So I think as far as the rest days, I think you have to sort of work those in yourself sometimes on how you feel, and also on what it is. A rest day could be, if you've done a workout and you're pretty tired, the next day is to go, well, okay, it's a rest day, but I'm just going to do some stretching instead of, because I'm feeling tired, I'm going to do some stretching instead of doing another workout. And that's just as, that's just as beneficial. What you don't want to do is burn yourself out because you're trying to train every day, but just keep varying it, and keep those stretching sessions in there all the time. So don't skip those.
Excellent. That's good. So guys, if you have Marlon, you have another question?
Who won the hats from the workout videos?
Oh, we're gonna go to that after 5 minutes of this next chapter. So that's the last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna go to that pretty quick. So now, guys, we just decided to show you this really quick. We will not go into this deeply, but because we are getting close to go sailing, it's very important that you all take into account a couple of these topics, okay? And, more focus on junior and youth classes, okay? So, if anybody feel any lower back pain in the past or any knee pain, I remember some laser sailors telling me a little bit about back pain, okay? For example, those two, in my opinion, I really recommend that you have the proper equipment for the boat that you are. We really strongly recommend laser sailors to wear some hiking pants. Just ask your coach the equipment that you need. There are some good things that you can wear to keep your back quite straight and hiking with a good position. A couple of things that can happen about blisters in your fingers. This drawing here talk about back pain. What happens if you don't hike with a good technique, okay? Or even if we're gonna have some winter coaching, tying a water bottle in your boat is really, really important. This is essential. How, it's anything you recommend about drinking tray, or anything you do in your dinghy sailing?
Well, like I was saying last time, obviously the hydration part of your sailing is so important. Before you sail, during, if you can, during the race. Sometimes I know that's just not possible during the actual race, but probably more importantly is to make sure that you're actually hydrated before you start your race. It's all very well coming in and going, oh, I'm really thirsty, and start drinking. I think where you're going to, and some of the days where the harder days and the days that are light, very, might be light air, in the summer, hot, light air, and you are on the water for a long time, your concentration levels go down pretty quickly if you're not hydrated. So I'd recommend trying to be hydrated before you even get on the water. Then it's not as crucial if you don't drink. You're probably not going to drink during the race, unless it's unless it's really light and you've got time or whatever, but it's probably not the case. It's probably more likely between races, before, between, and after. So I think trying to get hydrated before you get thirsty. Once you get thirsty, then it's really too late, as you I'm sure you all know that. So yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, that's great. I think we just mentioned a couple of things for the sailors to look when they go sailing. You know, when especially some FIVA or laser sailors or other sailors, if you're hiking and you're feeling a lot of back pain, or when you finish that hiking day and you feel back pain, you know, in this part, in the lower part, also that can be a sign that you have to strengthen your side and your core muscles. So we don't want you to be like hiking a lot in heavy windy days without proper core muscles, because you have chances of damage a little bit your back. So, you know, I remember a coach when I was 13-year-old told me, if you don't have good core muscle, you don't develop that. Instead of working those muscles, you are working your back. There's a little bit of easy way for you guys to think about it. It's important to use this time, you know, these 2 or 3 weeks to get your core muscles, so then you can hike for longer. Then when you're hiking, you're enjoying, you're having fun, you're not thinking about that, and you're not causing any damage in your back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also about hiking, talk with your coach about a proper hiking technique. Last session, Trey did a great session about, you know, technique when you do fitness, but also when you're hiking or when you are sheeting, working your main sheet in a dinghy or hiking, also make sure that you have been explained the proper technique to do it well and to not cause any injury as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, some common mistakes, guys, can be a little bit of hiking like that, and that's not very good. You are not opening, you know, your chest. You're giving some good air in your lungs. You know, it's more detailed than that, but just to give pretty basic, you don't want to be hiking and shitting like that. Yeah, you want to be like open like that, and working with an open chest. Yeah. Now that's good. I think there's a couple of tips for you to think about. So when we go back to the water.
Yeah, it's good to have all those sorts of things, you know, like when you do get back on the water again, is you know, you're not going to just jump in the water and just start racing straight away. So to have those sort of things in the back of your mind on what you've been thinking about lately, as far as your fitness, your core strength, your hiking, all those sorts of bits and pieces that you've been either watching or trying out or listening to or whatever, is to try and put those into practice when you first get out on the water again. And you know, I think you're going to be more aware probably of when you do get in your boat and actually think, oh yeah, it does make a difference when I activate my core, you know, my core muscles, and actually start thinking about just sailing along and think, okay, yep, I am actually, I do feel my core locked in and actually working, as opposed to my back, as opposed to my lower back. So I think, you know, those sorts of things, if you become, I guess, more aware, just becoming more aware of them, will help you automatically engage those muscles without thinking about it.
Yeah, that's really good. So remember, when we go back to the water, ask your coach or ask me if I'm around about hiking technique. Last thing I was quickly remembering about some sailors I'm watching that are in this session, FIVA lasers, is about when you hike, if you are feeling that, you know, you're putting your butt near the water, like you're hiking like that, you're actually bending your back, putting your butt near the water, which is not good, and you're bending your knees. So a lot of the hiking also start from your toes and from your leg. So if you can straight your leg when you hike a little bit, then that means you're gonna raise your butt and you're gonna straight your back. So I think also think about the connection that you have with the boat. Think about how your hiking straps are. Think about that in a dinghy, most of the power, most of the connection to the dinghy come from your legs. So that's a really important thing. I see sailors going, they don't touch the hiking straps. and you might do dinghy sailing okay or something, and you might be looking into that. You know, how you rig your boat have to do a lot with what's the technique that you're going to have, and actually going to help you a lot, no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, and like you say, it all comes down to that awareness of you sort of you're thinking about it all the time till you get to the point where it's just so normal that you're not thinking about it. And you're thinking about your racing, you know, you're thinking about tactics, you're thinking about the wind. You're not just totally thinking about how sore your core muscles are or how sore your back is. And that will make a massive difference to how you get around the course.
Excellent. Right, guys, if you have any questions, that's the time to do it. If not, are you all good? Do you all understood? If you understood, do this. Yeah, excellent. You can send us some questions by email. We are really happy to answer that. We're going to send you the workouts. Great. So we had been looking into all the workouts video that you send to us. So that's good. We can send you, we have a pre-select like 5 of them. We'll receive many. We'll receive 15, 20 videos. We did a pre-selection. We can send that to you in an email as well. But yeah, what do you think, Trey? We'd select 3 of them?
Yeah, I think the ones I saw, the ones you sent me were great, and obviously you've thinned those out, and the ones that we talked about, the 3 that we talked about were sure the hat, the hat winners this time. And don't worry about what this time there'll be more. Don't worry, there will be more prizes and there will be more workouts. This is not where it ends. This is just where it starts. So it's all about keeping up the good work, and you don't just get fit and strong abs in a week of doing it. It's a long road to it's something that you've got to just keep working at over a long period of time, and the little bit you do all the time will make a huge difference further down the track when you're really old like me. It will make a huge difference, and you'll enjoy your sailing so much more. So as far as the workouts go, keep it up. It's fantastic to see. So you're so enthusiastic, and we'll have more competitions coming up with more prizes. That's for sure. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Have you got the which are the 3 that you've got, Maria, that we had? Or one
yeah,
was...
we talk about these 3 we're going to mention now. For me, guys, I think it was 17. The 17 sailors that sent us the workout videos are actually, they are the winners, because they are the ones that learn and put in practice. And as we told you before, they video themselves, and by video your workouts, then you can watch that.
Yeah.
And analyze, my back, or I'm doing this drill too fast, my back is not straight. So it's good to video. It's good to video yourself and be a self-coach. Be your own coach. And that's something for everything, for workouts, for sailing. Don't expect having a coach all the time telling you every time what to do. Being your self-coach, it's a very good skill.
Yeah, it's certainly something that you can do so easily now, that we never had, when I was your age, that we never had that sort of ability to be able to just quickly video yourself doing with a phone and of doing a workout or doing an exercise or whatever, to look at your technique. So I think it's those sorts of things that you've got these tools that you can use so easily. Do a few those sit-ups or crunches or whatever, video yourself, have a look, go, oh yeah, that looks pretty good, or oh no, that was not as good as I thought I was, and have another go. And so it's so easy to do that, and you've got the equipment and the tools to be able to make that happen. What we will do for sure, and talking about that carrying this on with the injury side of things, the backs, the the core strength, that sort of thing, is will be great to. I'd like to talk to our a physio that we've been using for a long time, who is the physio for Team New Zealand, that's Paul Wilson. So I'll try and for sure organise another session like this, and maybe we get him. I can get him on the Zoom call at the same time, and he can talk about some of the problems that he's seen over the years with sailors, and explain, I guess in his words, why a lot of them have issues that they do, and some of the better ways to, I guess help that long term.
That's really good, because I think we have, Ana Carana, but all the other clubs, we have sailors in this chat with other clubs as well. We all want to help and build the New Zealand sailors. And I think having the juniors and the youth, learning that in an early stage is really important. And don't wait, guys, until you are 20 years old and you have some back pain. That will be a little late.
No, absolutely. Start now, and just a little bit all the time, and it's going to make a massive difference to it. It doesn't matter what sort of sailing you're doing, it will make a huge difference further down the track, and you'll just enjoy it more, and you'll be able to do it for a lot longer.
Excellent. So let's go back to the prizes. We had 3 videos. We couldn't decide first, second, third. So the 3 of them will get a cup. I will tell why and then the name. So one was a sailor that we saw a video, really, really motivated and doing a variety of videos. Like he doesn't do only 1 or 2 workouts, he do a couple. And he was happy and motivated. And also, other thing that I saw, that sailor was working with a partner, another sailor, another person. So that's also a good tip. Maybe get your parents or get a brother and a sister. You can motivate yourself with another person. So one night we go to Bradley, that he showed good motivation and mix of workouts. The other sailor, that one is the one that Trey told me the first time. She was working a lot on laser techniques, and she's a laser sailor. That cup go to Sophia Morgan. Are you there? Yeah.
They all muted, I think. Maria, are they? No?
I think some of them they are. You can unmute yourself, guys. You can unmute. This is an informal talk. Yeah. We can do a talk right now. We just finished the theory, so so that's good. I think Sophia was working on specific laser drills, laser workouts, so that's good. And then the other cab we try about this video. He also did a mix of workouts on a bike, but what was quite good on this person was all the technique.
And it's me.
So that technique was quite good. So that the third cup gonna go to Logan. So
hey.
Nice work, guys, and nice work to all 3 of you. And like I said, just all the videos, all the workouts. It's great that you're taking it on so seriously, but also one of the big things is just to make sure that you have a lot of fun doing this, and I'm sure that you'll come up with little exercises and stuff that work for you on the boat and for your sailing as well. And just it's so important to keep it fun. And enjoy doing these workouts, because it's like I said, it's a long road, but also it's if it's fun, then it makes a huge difference to how you train long term and keep that motivation going. But at the same time, it can be fun, but just keep thinking about your technique when you're doing these little exercises, even if it's just stretching or whatever. Just keep thinking about your technique. It doesn't matter who you talk to, and whatever sport, you talk to anyone in any sport at a high level, they'll always talk about how important technique is. And so just keep that in the back of your mind when you're trying to do your exercises.
Awesome, excellent. So for me, guys, everybody that was in last session and everybody who was today actually won a lot of skills. So that's the main thing. I tell you another thing, when we go back to the club, we are planning to do some winter coaching. We don't know when we're going to start, but it's going to be soon. So keep looking into your emails this week and the following week. It will be some updates where we can go to the water. So one thing we're going to do, the first week that we are in the water, the first weekend that we go back to coaching and sailing, we're going to do a group workout session at the club. So yeah, this is just the beginning, so that's good. And we're going to also do a monthly fitness challenge. So keep working for that.
Yeah. We might have to talk to that lady at Live Sail Die to come up with some prizes as well, eh?
Yeah, Swellen have to go today, but thank you, Swellen, for the prizes. I also have a Royal Caravaggio Club bag to give as a prize. I have a RAYC polo to give for prizes, so I have a lot of prizes there. So yeah, focus on your workout because very soon will be more challenges. Yeah.
So when will the next challenge be for the workouts?
For the workouts, it probably will be in 3 weeks. So that's when we're gonna go. We can do a workout in the club.
In the club, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because next, I'll tell you what we're doing next week. Next Thursday, put some thumbs up. Who wants another session next Thursday? Are you available Thursday? I know you guys, you're starting school. Some of you. We are thinking at 6 p.m. because I know many are school and doing some. 6 p.m. works well for many of you. Yeah, okay. Excellent. So I will tell you what we're doing next Thursday. We have this another. Oh, here we go. So we have Andrew Brown next Thursday. So 6 p.m. I give you a little bit of time to rest after school. Maybe do some workout before the lesson. So also you can ask some questions in the lesson next Thursday. It's going to be about racing speed for dinghies. Andrew Brown is a sail maker and also a sailor. So he will be talking about trimming and different sail shapes, how to tune your sail shape for what you need, and how to trim and a lot of other things, and how to get a lot of speed. And then we're gonna have Simon Cook doing a great lesson about upwind strategy, okay? Then we're gonna have other about downwind strategy, mark roundings, and other things. And if you want any other topics, guys, that you want us to cover, you can please send us an email, okay? We are here to work for what you need to improve, okay? Your weaknesses. We plan to continue doing these sessions. This is a great complement of your water coaching on your water sailing. So it's important that you send us an email like, hey, I don't feel good maybe in racing rules or anything. All good, guys? Any questions?
Fantastic. I think all these sessions that Maria's organising for you guys and putting together, and all these people that are sort of offering to talk about the expertise on different subjects and that sort of thing, it's so valuable to your whole sailing career. And so the more you can take in and collect and have this sort of knowledge back on the water, and even when you are on the water and you get to go sailing again, to have all this knowledge sort of stashed away that you can use all the time and keep reverting back to is super valuable. So definitely make the most of it, and I think it's something that will will carry on for a long time, even when you're back up and running in the club and everything's back to normal. I think these sort of sessions will keep going, because I'm I'm sure that they're very, valuable. And I think a lot of people have, in a lot of different sports, have probably found the same thing. So, all learning a lot from each other, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, thank you so much, especially for many sailors, as they are receiving the theory and they're receiving these workouts. It's something, guys, that you need to save in your computer. Don't just keep it in your email. Save it. Put a little file in your computer that says, sailing, training, and keep those files. So then, you're gonna go, you can review those files once a month. Oh, that's what the workout I can do. Or when we talk about start, this is a couple of tips. So I think these online courses are really good because you keep material with you as well. Okay.
Yep.
Plus, you can talk with awesome sailors like Trey. Thank you so much for being here. It's so
pleasure.
good.
Look forward to hopefully getting some few little sessions down at the club as well, and we can put it into practice, and then we can, and hopefully we have an ocean Volvo 65 that we can get everyone out for sale on in the very near future.
That's awesome. That would be so good. So thank you so much, all the sailors, for being here, and thank you, Trey, for helping us. These two
Pleasure.
sessions have been awesome. So many good skills. It's great for us and for the sailors to know you, as we might see you at the club sometimes with the gym and all. So yeah, don't remember about next Thursday session. Keep working on your fitness, and hope to go to the water.
Awesome. Take care, and just remember, keep hydrating and think about your technique.
Thank you.
Right, so
All right, thanks.
I think, guys, I'm gonna unmute all of you. You can talk. We can say thank you, Trey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trey.
Fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trey.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Excellent.
Thank you.
Awesome. If you have any question, you can email us to us.
Maria, something I just saw from my
Bradley.
school is there's a competition at the moment called, and it's run by College Sport, and it's for kids between year 7 to year 13, and it's all about covering distance, whether that be on an erg or cycling or running or walking, and then you can get points for it for your school. So I was thinking maybe if I send you the link to that, you can attach it to this. So it's just another reason to get out and be motivated.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really, really good. Yeah, send me that email.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony.
It's a pleasure, Emily. Take care.
Emily, we'll see you soon for some coaching.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll contact you.
Cool.
Pretty soon. All right, thank you, Trey. I think it was awesome.
Brad, take care.
Yeah, you too.
Talk
Chat
soon. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Lee,
Marlon, do you want to play virtual recorder?
I was just going to ask you that. I'll send you a Zoom invite, okay?
Okay.
It's Bradley Perry 2009 at Gmail, right?